Hello, New York Jets fans around the world. My name is Kevin. This is the Boricua in the Basement channel. And this year in 2022, I'm going to give you guys my own opinion for each and every game of the 2022 Jets season. So we're going to get things started with today's unfortunate 24-9 loss to the Baltimore Ravens. I'm not going to say too much about the defense yet. I'm going to focus on the offense. First and foremost, I know that the offensive line didn't play well, but for me, Joe Flacco, I don't think he should start another game for the New York Jets until Zach Wilson comes back. I think starting next week they need to start Mike White. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Joe Flacco looked every bit of 37 years old. Again, not all of it is his fault, but at this point in his career, I don't think he should be a starting NFL quarterback. He's probably going to be a Hall of Famer, but again, it's time to move on. It's time for some new blood. It's time for some fresh legs, and that's what Mike White is going to provide. And hopefully, starting next week, Mike White will be the starting quarterback for the Jets. As far as the offensive line, quite frankly, I was offended. I understand that Mekhi Becton is not going to be playing this season, and I get that Dwayne Brown is going to be out for a few weeks. Needless to say, George Fant played like George Fart. And the defense of the Baltimore Ravens was going through him like a silent fart goes through your underwear. Max Mitchell played okay, but the rest of the offensive line, they weren't in sync. And basically, they got dominated at the line of scrimmage. In the 40 years that I've been watching football, quite frankly, you win games at the line of scrimmage. If the offensive line doesn't dominate, guess what? It doesn't matter who the quarterback is, really. He's going to be on his back, and the running game is not going to get going. Same thing on the other side of the ball. If the defensive line is not dominating, the other team's offense is basically going to do whatever it wants, irrespective of how good the linebackers or the secondary might be. There were some glimmers of hope there. Michael Carter outside of that drop pass in the end zone, where at that point the game didn't really matter. He showed some signs, but unfortunately, too many mistakes. Why was Garrett Wilson not out there? I mean, he's the 10th pick in the draft. I mean, he was only there for a few plays. Get the man more involved in the game. What little he did do in the game, there was that one nice play there where he broke through three Ravens, almost got the first down. In a situation like that where you have a player that makes a play like that, I know it was at the 30-yard line, but you still go for it on fourth down. That was the kind of play that could give the team momentum. The tight ends, nowhere to be found. Conklin, a rough first game. The receiving core was okay, but just a lot of drops, a lot of mistakes on the offense, and it's a shame. They started that on the first play, Michael Carter with that 19-yard run, and then other than that, it really was just hit and miss, and quite frankly, it was more miss, and it's a shame. On the opening day of the 2022 season, on the anniversary of 9/11, you would think that particularly the Jets offense would have come out with a lot more zest, a lot more fight, a lot more hunger. Hopefully, come next week against the Cleveland Browns, that will not happen. As far as the defense, this is a defense that, in my opinion, for this year is probably going to be a bend but don't break defense. I'm not really going to hold them to task for this loss because, unfortunately, the Ravens, they were dominating on the other side of the ball. And the offensive for the Ravens was they did what they needed to do to get the victory. Props to Lamar Jackson. He made some great plays. He made some great throws. The Jets defense really played well in the first half, but in the second half, it's been like this for a few years with the Jets. The defense will play well for one half, and then in the second half, with a putrid offense that the Jets have been having for the past few years, they at some point, they're going to give up a big play. It is what it is when you're on the field as much as that Jets defense was. I mean, what do you expect? Special teams, supercalifragilistic, atrocious. Starting with Zerline missing the field goal that could have tied the game, that could have really changed the momentum. The punter, Braden Mann, that terrible punt, and that led to the first touchdown, which gave Baltimore a 10-3 lead. Overall, just a really piss poor performance by the Jets, particularly on the offensive end for the first week of the season. I'm not going to put Robert Saleh on the hot seat yet, but if this continues, I know it's New York and all, It's going to get nuclear, especially if they lose next week to the Browns, especially if they play the way they did today. Something's got to be done on offense. One more thing, I noticed when they were down 24-3, the offense is going down the field like it's the start of the quarter, like they're up 24-3. You're down 24-3. It's time for you to go into the hurry up offense. You're down 3 touchdowns. Get it going. Hurry it up. There was no sense of urgency. I know they probably would not have won the game anyway, but if they had got the hurry up offense going, I think they would have had a better shot. That's pretty much my synopsis for the game. This has been the Boricua in the Basement channel, and we will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.